Everton are not a particularly creative side. It's not too often when I do my predictions and I go 0 for a team, and I went Spurs to win 2-0 because I just didn't fancy Everton to score. They don't have the firepower. They don't have the goal scorer through the middle. Beto, Barry, no, unfortunately, from Everton's perspective. Yes, they have some creation in wide positions with Grealish and of course with Ndiaye as well. Yeah, I think you have to be very happy with that, to go away from home, win 3-0, when the fans have been getting on your back a little bit, which has been the case with Spurs. They were disappointing midweek against Monaco. They lost to Aston Villa recently as well. So no, I think it's a very good Sunday afternoon in England for Tottenham Football Club.
There's been a lot of change at Spurs recently. Daniel Levy's gone, change of manager, Postecoglou. It's a disappointing, obviously, finish to where they were last season in the Premier League, but he did bring them a trophy and possibly might have kept with him. But then they've had a lot of managers over the last 6 or 7 seasons. So they have gone in a different direction, and it is going to take time to find that consistency when any manager comes in. I just think with Thomas Frank, I think he's a cool-headed manager. He has a way of playing, a philosophy that has gone away from what Tottenham fans and what Tottenham have wanted in the past. And it is going to take time. It does take time. So, I think there are going to be setbacks through this season at certain points. But listen, they're sitting 3rd in the league. It was a really Thomas Frank-like performance away from home. He's just probably got to be a little bit more expansive at home, because the Tottenham fans, they like their football. That's their history, and that's how they've grown. They expect it, don't they? Yeah. So maybe he has got to venture into the transfer market and maybe buy players that he hasn't done in the past. Yeah,
but I think there's enough players at Spurs to bring that. Maddison's out injured. Kulusevski's out injured at the moment. Solanke's out injured. Romero didn't play at the back today for Spurs, for example, who's good at breaking out from the back and playing things forward as well. So, Spurs are depleted of a lot of expensive talent at the moment as well.
Do you think, a lot has been said about their lack of creativity and the lack of cohesion, particularly amongst the attackers. Was that a little bit better today? Because I thought there was a lot more fluidity amongst the 3 attackers behind the striker today.
I don't think particularly, Michelle, if I'm being honest, and especially when you consider 2 of the Spurs' 3 goals were from set plays, from corners, weren't they? So no, I think that's an area. As I just said, Spurs do need some of those injured creative players back and available. When they do come back, then I think it will make a difference for sure. But as Jason has said, they need time to develop their little patterns of play and understandings. Early part of the season when, Kudos sets up Richarlison for 2 goals, everyone's saying, oh, what a great combination this is. Now Richarlison's not particularly starting games, is he?
Yeah. So you're right. The 2 goals have come from set plays, and then the 3rd one comes when Everton are looking to try and, claw something back from the game. So they were quite open and they broke, and Richarlison was involved, and they get the 3rd. But I don't think there was a great cohesion today from an attacking point of view. I just think it was they said it in commentary, a really workmanlike
Because that Spurs way is usually a big thing for Spurs fans to want to be playing the Spurs way. Will Spurs fans be patient to try to find that attacking flair?
He's got to find the balance between giving the Spurs fans what they want, but also bringing success. He can be very pragmatic. He was like that at Brentford because of the quality of players that he had. He got the best out of his players. He wasn't used to going into the transfer market and spending 60, 70 million. If he brings success to Spurs and they're going in the right direction, he'll be asked to do that at some point, and then he's in a different territory because something he hasn't done before. But listen, I think he's a really good appointment for Spurs. I think he will bring success, because I think he will find the balance between playing like that, being pragmatic, and that says a lot. They're unbeaten on the road. That's how he plays. But at home, I keep saying it, I think he's got to give him a little bit more. But like Gary said, they're missing a lot of creative talent. Once he gets a full squad back fit, it'll be interesting to see how they do perform.
How hard is it to find that balance? Because Spurs in this instance, went from all-out Ange Postecoglou to now being more pragmatic, but then you kind of still want to have that element back from what they had last season. It seems like that entirety has been taken away.
It's not in the opposition, Michelle. It's like, you know, in games today, they haven't lost at home, Everton. He knows that it's going to be a fight, it's going to be physical, so he's not going to be open and you know, expansive. He's going to say to his players, listen, at times we're going to have to take the punches. They did, you know, although Everton didn't throw many. But they did, you know, and then when they need to open up, they'll be trying to try and be creative. It didn't quite work out that way. But then on the training ground, he's meticulous. He looks into set plays, he manages his set plays, and he gets rewarded with 2 today. So he knows when they're not playing well, a set piece could be crucial. And whereas Ange said last season, listen, it's not for us.
It's chalk and cheese, your comments about set pieces, that's one.
For him, you know, that's today. It's proven a point how important they are.